Any belief that keeps you from growing and becoming a better version of yourself is a limiting belief and has to be challenged. That belief may have been true at one time, may have actually been valid, but it's not valid now. But we still have that belief. So we actually have to challenge that belief as being invalid now. You use your present as your point of power for starting this. To remove the old belief, make it invalid, and replace it with a new empowering belief and validate that. This particular section was inspired by Tony Robbins. He calls this his belief table. Let me explain it to you. The belief is the tabletop, and the reasons for the belief are the legs. The key to invalidating the belief is to kick out the legs. So essentially, we're saying that we invalidate the reasons for the belief, and that invalidates the belief. Now, the first thing to do is to name the belief. So get a hold of your thoughts about what's holding you back. Let's say the belief is, I'm just too quiet and too shy to run a project. I could never do that. It requires too much, personality and charisma, and I just don't have that. So if you want to move forward and be a better version of yourself, and that's keeping you from doing it, that's a limiting belief. So let's get rid of that belief. So what are the reasons? I'm shy, I'm introverted, I can't think of what to say at the right time. People tell me that I'm quiet. So we substantiate the legs with facts or what we think are facts. Somebody told me that this was the way I am. Whenever I get into social situations, I'm scared of talking to anybody. I just stand by the wall and don't talk to anybody. Somebody comes up to talk to me and I can't think of anything to say. My mind goes blank. So I just don't know anything. I can't keep track of all this stuff that a project manager has to do. I wasn't very good at managing my school projects, so why should I be any good at managing work projects? People don't respect me. I'm just a guy working in the firm. Why should that person or this person listen to me? So these are all the facts that are supporting the table. So the first step, invalidating those facts. So take each one at a time and challenge it. Say, well, I'm shy. Well, think of times when you weren't shy. If you've got a partner, you obviously made a personal relationship. Or even if you don't have a partner, but you have good friends, you made social relationships with your friends. You might say, oh, but that's different because those are my friends. They're just, we hang out and I feel more relaxed then. That's a way in, though. That's a way that you're not always shy. You're not always introverted. So now you put doubt on one of those legs. Remember, we talked about doubt is that you can doubt things from a logical standpoint when you have facts. I have a fact that here was a circumstance where I wasn't shy, I wasn't introverted. So to say I'm too shy, I'm too introverted, that's not necessarily the case. So now you've weakened the legs. So by challenging these legs that support the table, the first thing is you're breaking the pattern by finding something that's not right about it. Basically, you're asking, is this true? Could there be a circumstance where it's not true? Question it and produce some doubt. So that belief was basically your brain trying to protect you. But now it's not serving you. If it was a wall to protect you, maybe that wall is now imprisoning you. So then the second thing that you need to do to break this table leg is to get leverage. And that's to identify the consequences. It's how do you feel when you think about this belief? What does it feel like inside? So there's consequences to the belief in that it makes you feel something. Well, it protects me, so maybe I feel safe. Well, but it also is keeping you from advancing your career. So, what does that mean? How does that make you feel? How do the limits that this belief is giving you, how does that feel? How about the shyness? How does being shy make you feel? Think through each of these steps and challenge it with a question. Is it true? Create some doubt. Find an example where it wasn't true. And question how you feel about each one of these. So after you've gone through that exercise, then with each one, think about what would it feel like if that didn't exist, if that support wasn't there? What would it feel like if I wasn't shy? What would it feel like if I was an effective project leader? What would it feel like to complete projects successfully and turn them in and everybody raves about it? When you've gone through each one of those legs are broken. And that belief starts to come down. Now, you can't leave an empty table top just laying there on the floor with no support to it. The fact is, when we have a belief and we take it away, we leave a void. You cannot leave the void. You have to replace it with a new belief, a new empowering belief that is the opposite of that limiting belief, something that is going to empower you to move forward with your career in architecture. So you create what you want that belief to be. Now, it's not going to float there by itself. Put legs under it. Give justifying reasons why that belief is true. Go through the same steps. Is it true? Create truth to it with multiple legs, each one being true. And true by the substantiation of your previous discussion with yourself about what was not true about the limiting belief, circumstances where you weren't shy, circumstances where you did succeed in a project, circumstances where you did have respect. Those are supports for the new table. So once you've named your new belief and you're substantiating the legs of this new belief table, you can reinforce it with repetition. And it's repetition of each of these supporting legs. But the repetition needs to come in a state similar to the way you got the limiting belief, that you got the limiting belief in a vulnerable state. So in order to help this new belief stick, you do the repetition in a state of vulnerability. Now, the most effective way to get vulnerable is actually putting yourself in a state of vulnerability through self-hypnosis. This is not something that I'm going to try to teach you, and this is not someone else hypnotizing you. This is a form of meditation. This is where you go into meditation, and the best way is with subliminal recordings. So when you're in a deep state of meditation, you've got this recording going on in your head. Now, there are other ways to get vulnerable.